Look more closely and you will find another side to Kuwait. For this is a sovereign state, ruled over by the seventh of his family's line, His Highness Sheikh Abdullah Al-Salim Al-Sabah, who governs his fast-developing country with an inherited understanding of his peoples, inherited from civilizations that were old when Greece and Rome were young. The ruler and his Council of State have made their country modern, but their way of government is Arab, based on the traditions of the family and on the Muslim faith. There you have a close-up on Kuwait, bustling and vigorous, cosmopolitan and friendly. And in the middle of the hubbub, the Kuwaitis themselves, accepting progress, but valuing tradition and striking between the two. Favored by nature, yet not content to rest on nature's gifts. Fashioning the wilderness, molding the desert, changing themselves. And these youngsters they've taken so much thought for. What lies ahead for them? One thing is sure, to whatever they turn their heads and hands, they'll bring those qualities of enterprise and level-headedness that have made this state of Kuwait a state of excitement, here at the heart of the Arab world. The future of Kuwait, as of any quickly growing country, belongs to the young, and the government has made itself responsible for their education. When these children grow up, they will know that they had the good fortune to be young and vigorous in a country that is young and vigorous too.
وريني أول شيء شاطر وريها الأولاد وثلاثة معنا.
طيب أنت تقدر تعرف إن الثلث تساوي كام؟
الثلث يساوي 60 لأن ضربنا البسط والمقام في 2 يساوي 60.
كويس خالص. طيب والثلاثة على 5 تساوي 9 على كام؟ مين يعرف؟ أنت؟
3 أخماس تساوي 9 على 15 لأننا ضربنا البسط والمقام في 3.
40,000 school children at school every day means 40,000 healthy appetites. And even after the squarest meal, there's always little Oliver Twist who asks for more. Today, these boys are Kuwait's responsibility. In a few years, Kuwait will be theirs. Take young Khalid here, a normal, healthy 8-year-old. His father is an artisan, and who knows what Khalid may become. His schoolmaster is a foreigner, an Arab from a neighboring state. For while Khalid and his generation are growing up, there will be many foreigners in Kuwait. In the years since the first oil drillings, Kuwait has welcomed people of many nationalities to help her development. The necessary qualification is skill, engineering, scientific, or administrative. The skills that have enabled this small country to make her wealth productive. The foreigners have brought their own way of life. They are free to worship as they please. They've brought their wives and their wives' necessities, their children and their children's pets, their own culture, their incomprehensible enthusiasms, their passion for gardening, and above all, their patient ability to teach.
Mane-bearing cat.
Mane-bearing cow.
Our piston.
Piston.
Our connecting rod.
Connecting rod.
And the people of Kuwait have matched it with their own ability to learn, and to learn quickly. Pupils in Kuwaiti schools and technical colleges, and pupils far away in the centers of learning of Europe, America, and the Arab world. A whole generation of Kuwaitis are learning their way about a completely new field of knowledge. A world of circuits, systems, frequencies, reactors, bloodstreams, power curves, wingtip vortices. The things all of us have to learn today. Once the Arabs were the teachers of the world, its outstanding chemists, doctors, geographers. Here in the quiet of libraries and in the cut and thrust of argument, the same urgent spirit of inquiry is born again. Today, the city gates no longer open on the desert. For eager young Kuwait, tomorrow is high adventure. But for many years yet, the material springboard of that adventure will be oil. Today, much of the energy and resources of Kuwait is needed to keep the oil industry constantly supplied with the technical facilities, the equipment, and the manpower it needs.
لبيب سلم السيارات البلدية. Hello? Oh, hello, Arthur. How are you? You're short of pipes? Oh, okay, I'll send you. How many? 40 numbers, 3-inch. Okay.
Last year, $20 million worth of orders were placed by the oil industry in the town, and the resources of Kuwait have had to be equal to it. To swell the labor force, thousands of workers come from the neighboring countries to join the ranks of Kuwaitis in regular employment. But a far-sighted government wants to be sure that the whole country will benefit from the great wave of prosperity that oil has brought. So they've set up a government development board which studies the needs of the country and tackles them with imagination and vigor and a willingness to try out new ideas.
It will be here. The last or the first?
These are some of the facts they have to cope with. First of all, Kuwait is a country of desert. Without help, very little grows. Sometimes in the summer, nature can be seen at its most unrelenting. The wind from the north, the shamal, can blow the fine dry sand at storm force. But nature has a way of evening things out. For below the sand, the oil reservoirs contain vast quantities of natural gas. As a source of energy, natural gas is invaluable. It generates electricity for Kuwait's industries. It distills millions of gallons of seawater daily to supply this arid country's greatest need, fresh water. Fresh water has also been discovered underground. And now, even the nomadic Bedou tribesmen in their isolated tents are supplied with fresh water by tanker lorry. And where there is enough water, miracles can happen. Miracles like this. This is the government experimental farm. It covers 100 acres, and it's one of the most significant projects in the world today. For the world is very short of food. 2/3 of the human race is undernourished. One of the answers is to conquer the deserts of the earth. Here in Kuwait, the desert is beginning to yield. They are proving that, properly cared for, livestock from Europe can live and thrive in temperatures of nearly 130 degrees. They are proving that with enough water and a lot of science, the desert can be turned into soil and bear fruit. They're experimenting with hydroponics, a method that requires no soil at all. Vegetables are planted in gravel or vermiculite and fed with chemicals dissolved in water. The water is then drained off and used again. The 100 acres of the experimental farm are only a beginning. But in the end, the wilderness and the solitary place shall be glad, and the desert shall rejoice and blossom as the rose. In Kuwait, the worship of Islam lies firm, like a bedrock on which to build a new way of life. And with the belief go the traditions that belong to the Muslim world. One of these traditions is the Majlis. Through the Majlis, every citizen with a petition or with a grievance against his neighbor or the state has the right of direct access to his rulers. How many of us in the West can do the same? Access to the government, equality before the law. These are assured to every citizen of Kuwait. And the riches from all these far distances come back to Kuwait in manufactured goods. Motor cars and razor blades, aircraft and chocolates, furniture and tennis rackets, frozen foods and feather dusters, cameras and candelabra, microscopes and magazines, timber, steel, and string. In these streets, you will find the Arab shrewdness of bazaar and marketplace. But you will also find the telephone and the cable bringing in business information from the whole industrial world.
بخصوص البرنجات اللي وفيتوا عليهم فيشر ب 209 موجود عندنا منهم 22 السعر 17 ربيع.
الرعي شو CIA او شو هذه
اللي بدك اياه ايش بدك اياه؟
كيف كذا معاملة
بدنا نعطي الأرق إذا كان بالأسعار هذه CIA.
نعم.
But I think the American article is much better than what you mentioned.
Oh no, we produce the best there is in the field.
Who say what proof you have got? This is the best.
Well, we've marketed it in Saudi Arabia and in Bahrain, everywhere.
It's good. We will buy it here in Kuwait also, but I think it's not so good.
Well, no.
Because we always in Kuwait like good articles. from England or from Germany, any country in the world.
Only the best is good enough, and the merchants here can display to their critical customers nearly all that money can buy. Kuwait today is cantilevered and air-conditioned. Its meeting place, the soda fountain. Its symbol of prestige, the high-powered automobile.